Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. I have switched sizes again. This is a 12 by 14 gel plate. This is a little closer to a square format. There's only 2-inch difference between the width and the length. So what I did is I have my 22 by 30 Richardson paper and I cut it in half. So now my paper is 15 by 22. And so I am using my placement tool, and I just made sure that the left and the right sides are more or less the same, and the top and the bottom as well. I always leave a little allowance on the bottom for a signature and a date. So here is my reusable stencil. I'm sorry for the glare. Now I traced out, I think this is better. No, not really. I traced out my pattern. I based it on my theme of mushrooms, and I'm going to cut this out and make another stencil pattern similar to these, because what I want to do today is to do 3 layers. It's a little ambitious, but I think it will work out. So I will cut this out with my razor blade, and I will be right back. Okay, here we are at the first step. I'm putting down my base color, this is unbleached titanium. I want to do a split fountain. Unbleached titanium in the middle and Naples yellow on the outer edges. I'm just sorry about the glare, but I can't help it. I would rather have some glare than have a shadow. Okay. So we'll start with the unbleached titanium. I may have put a little too much paint, but that's all right. It produces different kind of textures. Now, I always believe that it's better to put too much than too little. Because if you put too little, what is the point of doing artwork if you don't put enough paint? Okay. Now I will place some marks with my silicone tool. Now the marks create some movement in an otherwise very static background. Okay. You see, once the paper is on, the glare is not so bad. You see, I have to work on a plexiglass background, otherwise the gel plate will slip. I need a surface that is slick enough that it will grab the gel plate and not allow it to move. And that is the key in having good registration, that your objects don't shift around. Okay, I will leave this on for about 5 minutes. Okay, let's see how we made out. Okay, pretty cool for a first layer. And I'm glad that the image is more or less centered. So we'll air dry this and move on to the next step. Okay, here we are at the next layer. Now this is the stencil that I had cut previously. It's not very clear on the camera because it's clear, but once I place the paint on it, it will show up. So I want to do cadmium orange here in the middle. Now I'm going to use a brush instead of a brayer. Because I want to have specific areas as orange. Okay, now I will just even this out. This is just to get rid of the high spots. And then the rest will be raw sienna. Maybe there's not that much contrast, but that's all right. Okay, let's see how this works out. Here is the first pull. Okay, let's see how we made out. There's a lot of texture involved. Pretty neat. So I will let this dry and move on to the third level. Okay, here's the next step. This is green gold. Just going to put some here in the center, like so. And use a brush. Then the rest will be green gold. I'm sorry, that wasn't green gold. This is cadmium blue green light. This is green gold. This time I am emphasizing the brush strokes. Just have to clean this up a little bit. Sometimes your finger is the best tool. Okay, there's always one more. And another one. You can see there's a slight satin shine because Soho acrylic is a heavy body paint and it has a satin finish. I don't mind it. It looks like oil paint. So it has a very rich outcome. Okay, that gave me a chance to wash out the stencils. I really like this texture caused by the brush. Okay, so I'll air dry this again. Maybe it will use a third layer. Now here is my last layer. This will be Mars Black. This is my brand new bottle, so it needs a good shake. This time I will use my 4-inch brayer because I want the layer to be more or less even. So when you use a wide brayer, you flatten the area much faster. But at the same time, when you use a wide brayer, you cover all the covered part of the stencils, which I wouldn't say that it's wasteful, but I guess there's no way around it. Because I would much rather have the paint go in the open spaces than on the closed areas, which are going to be washed out anyway. But that's just me. Okay, here is print with the second pull. Actually, that might be a third pull. I lost count. I think this is the fourth layer. Okay. Okay, this is exciting. This is the last part. Let's see how we made out. I like the texture. It's a heavy texture. Almost like linen. How cool is that? So let me air dry that, and I will recap in a few minutes. Okay, everybody, this has dried very nicely. Let me show you a close-up. You can appreciate the very nice textures. It's almost like a fabric mesh. So you have this interplay of lighter colors, and the black provides the necessary contrast. It kind of pulls everything together. Let me show you how I sign this. I already have a title in mind. I'm going to be using a chess term called the Queen's Gambit. Now this term means, in the game of chess, the queen sacrifices a pawn in order to gain the advantage of being in the center of the board. So it's a very popular figure of speech. When you sacrifice something in order to gain something greater. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and please pay a visit to artwhisperer88.com, which is my storefront, and any proceeds from the sales go to help keep this channel going. So thank you once more, and I hope to see you next time.